I'm from Kuwait. I'm working with an organization giving some information about Islam. Since today, this world, a lot of people have misunderstanding so many things about Islam. So please feel free to ask me any question you'd like.
So I read the book you gave me. It's interesting. It has a lot of similarities with other religions. But I have more questions about the woman's role.
Sure.
First question is, as a woman, do I need to ask for permission if I want to study or if I want to get married?
First of all, we have to understand the woman's role in Islam. For example, in Islam, we don't believe that the woman and men are equal in every single point of view. Maybe this is shocking to some people. But for example, physically, we believe that we're different. Emotionally, we believe that we are different. It doesn't mean the male is better than the woman or the woman is better than the male. But we believe that God Almighty created us in a complementary fashion, that we complement each other. Now, in terms of, is she allowed to do certain things? Yes, in Islam, when you have a daughter, her father is in charge of her, because we believe in Islam that the father, as a male, he's in charge of the house. When you have a ship, you have a captain, right? If you have two captains, the ship will sink.
And a woman cannot be the captain.
What do you mean by captain? So in Islam, some household, we have a widow, she takes care of her family.
If he decides he wants to give the leadership role to the woman, no.
So in terms of nature, we believe as Muslims that God Almighty, when He created us, for example, you have prophets and messengers, they're not female. Have you ever heard of a Messiah woman?
No, because in those times, the women were very oppressed.
So in those times, as we Muslims believe that we go back to the original nature that God created us, in today's world, very sadly, people show a bad picture of a woman. They use the woman as a product, right? So, she has to look in a certain way in a diet, and she gets used in media company, in product. So if I own a water company, I bring a woman that looks really good and use her to attract more customers. As Muslims, we believe that this is objectifying the woman, and this is degrading to the woman.
So I agree with that. I agree.
Sure.
But I also agree. I also think that not allowing a woman to decide by herself to study or to...
No, a woman can decide.
Yes.
I'll tell you...
Without permission of the man is also kind of objectifying. I see it that way.
I understand. I appreciate your honesty, and I understand where this is coming from. Now, in any protocol place, you need to have a guidance, right? If everyone has certain decisions and certain things, then you might have a chaos. But the women have her own decision in Islam. My sister right now is studying abroad. She makes her own decision based on that. But in Islam, there is a guardian. God Almighty gave the man certain characters and attributes that is different than the woman. Now, in terms of leadership, yes, we Muslims believe that the man leads the house. We don't believe that this is an old idea. In life, people, they change ideas, they come back. LGBT, the new genders. Then, tomorrow they're gonna be like, okay, we're monkeys, and we're not forced to follow these ideas. Make sense?
Okay, yeah. Now that you mentioned
Sure.
LGBT, so I know your point of view. I respect the point of view. I don't agree because I wonder why you care so much what someone does in his own privacy,
We don't care. We don't care. What we care about is you taking this ideology, rushing it in our face, and forcing us to believe what you want us to believe.
But if I want to kiss my girlfriend in front of you, is that apology to...
Now, I will explain that. If you want to kiss your girlfriend at home, this is your choice, right? I don't want this to be... if you have a little children, I don't know if you would mind to see your little kid watching people kissing or maybe pornography or anything. You wouldn't allow this, right? As a good mom. Now, in a society, we are obliged to take care of the society as a whole. What happens inside is between you and God. This is not we're not taking the place of God Almighty. We follow the commandments of God just like how God taught us it is. Now, I understand we as Muslims believe that there are two different genders that they are different. They're not equal. In Islam, this is against the nature of God. Let's be honest, right? You have plants. You have a female plant and a male plant. You have positives and negatives.
Did you know that in the animal kingdom there are
rare. There are what we call is an unnatural thing. If I was born with a third hand, doesn't mean that naturally all humans need to have 3 hands.
About all the media showing that many women are hit because of some infidelity or...
Yeah, look, it's very easy for me, if I own the media, I can easily show a bad picture of anyone I want. I can go to
But is
Argentina.
that true?
It's not Islamic.
Slamming.
There's no slamming in Islam. Does not exist. If I were to go to Argentina and see crazy guy hitting a woman, and I take them, I own the media, right? And I tell the world, look at Argentinian people hitting the woman.
So it's not written in the Quran.
What's written in the Quran is misunderstood for certain people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You're mentioning
What's the
this.
message in the Quran?
Yeah. So Prophet Muhammad, God Almighty said that Prophet Muhammad is your utmost example. Prophet Muhammad never laid his hand on a woman, right? He never touched the woman. He never hit the woman. And in the Islamic traditions and teachings in the Quran, it doesn't say slam your woman. If Islam says slam your woman, you wouldn't have 2 billion Muslims today living, and Islam being the fastest growing religion in the world. Make sense?
Yes.
Yes. So this is the message actually of Islam. In Islam, in the house, we believe that there's a leader. If you as a woman believe that the woman should be the leader, this is your own choice. But as Muslims, we believe that this is how God created us. We believe that God created Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. People will misinterpret certain things. The biggest reason for it is because of the lack of education they have in the original language in Arabic. For example, in Arabic, the word daraba means to hit, right? If God said, I will hit you an example, meaning I will give you an example.
Oh.
So when I take, this is just an example, I'm not interpreting, I'm just giving you an example. So that doesn't mean that the example will come and hit my face, right?
Yeah. It's a metaphor.
It's a metaphor.
So anyone can watch your videos on YouTube. Okay.
Any other question?
Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow.
Thank you.